Hey everybody, it's me, Mr. Fancy Cat. Wait, let me get the spot. No, this is bad. Okay, fine, whatever. We are playing the letter again. So, cause it's just time. What am I doing with my life? And also, I dyed my hair, if anyone's interested. No, okay. Okay, no one ran at me. The dizziness washes over me as I try to get up, forcing me to lie back down again. Luckily, the feeling subsides after a few seconds, only a mild throbbing somewhere in the back of my head. Oh, from a little assistance from Rose, I push myself upright. She hands me an ice pack and gestures for me to press it where I suspect a small bump has already formed, if the light ache in the area indicates anything.
All right, Isabella, where are we?
The Ermengarde mansion. Why? Ow, my head.
And the date today?
October 21st? Rose.
Last one. Can you count to 15 in reverse order?
15, 14, 13, 12, no, that's wrong. Why are we doing this?
She's just checking if your injury is in any way serious.
This time I curiously regard the woman standing behind Rose. It's impossible to overlook her with the way she towers over us. And here I thought Rose is already tall. Who is she anyway? One of the remaining cleaning crews? But with how primly dressed she is, I don't think anyone would want to clean a suit. I'm just imagining someone like in a tuxedo, like with a mop. Yeah, that's how I've actually seen people in like these expensive suits in restaurants cleaning. Yeah, it's kind of weird to watch. I don't think anyone would want to clean a suit, an expensive suit at that. The gloves alone must have already cost a fortune. Her eyes slowly shift between me and Rose, considering us with almost an unreadable expression, before finally fixing a sharp gaze on me. Literally, she throws glass out of her eyes. It's kind of scary. Yeah. I can't help but fold my arms protectively over myself as she does so. She may be far from a clean clue, but she certainly looks like our supervisor during evaluation.
Just do it, please.
I eye them both warily, but recite everything as she has asked. Rose releases a breath of relief once I'm done.
You scared me for a moment there. I was about to call for an ambulance. Are you all right?
Exasperation soon replaces the dull ache. The memory's a little fussy, but the attic
There was someone, Rose. In the attic.
Someone? You mean a client? Oh, that's unlikely. It's probably just one of the cleaning crews. The boss sent a few of them back this morning for some last-minute...
No, not any of those. I'm not actually sure. Wait, didn't I call you? You said you were in the attic when you answered. That's why I went there in the first place.
Both Rose and the lady look like me, like I've just grown another head. Did I say something weird? Rose quickly casts an apologetic smile. The woman before the awkward silence stretches on any further. It's her saleswoman smile, the same one she taught me back when I was still her trainee. I should know how I should show this to troublesome clients or just to avoid trouble in general, she advised. It's also the same one she gives me when I've done something particularly absurd that may cause us to lose a potential sale. Her eyes are serious when she turns back to me. She takes both of my shoulders, gently squeezes it, and with much patience as she can.
As much as I'd love to have gotten at least a heads up of your arrival, I didn't really get a call from you. You know, signal here is absolutely horrendous. I was in the garden earlier and couldn't even make a single call. Isabella, I'm going to ask again. Are you really all right? What happened?
I don't know. It's all a bit blurry. I remember I was looking for you, but you weren't in the attic. And there's whoever it is. And I must have tripped on a rug or something
It's a
on the way
spooky
down.
zombie. Come back from the dead to eat your brains. Or something like that.
Oh no. Do you think someone came in while you were out? You left the main door open. We are so going to get into big trouble if something gets stolen, Rose.
Perhaps it is a concussion. Are you sure you feel fine? We could still call for an ambulance. I could cover for you.
No, I'm fine. I'm okay, Rose. I can work.
Wait, hold your hoses, Rose. Can't miss an important sale because of a minor bump in the head. An extremely minor bump. Had worse when I was a kid, this is nothing.
Besides, if I leave, you'll have to shoulder everything in the open house, alone. And in a mansion this big?
Wait, well, there's also the part where I lose the bonus BRC promise, but that's completely beside the point. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Rose gives me a skeptical look when I return the cold compress to her and push myself off the floor. I have to use the staircase railings to stare at myself, but otherwise I feel fine.
See? I'm A-okay.
Two of them exchange a worried glance, and Rose assumes a contemplative look. Bite my lower lip in anticipation. If she says no,
You in?
smile tries to slip out from
If
me.
I see that you aren't feeling well, I'm taking you personally to the nearest clinic to have you checked. Clear?
That's a bad idea in horror games. Just saying.
Clear as day, ma'am. Thanks, Rose.
You insisted. But remember what I said. First sign of you looking not okay, and we're off. No questions asked.
It's just a small bump. Don't worry.
You shouldn't downplay these kinds of things. It could be a serious injury for all we know.
Suddenly, a small cough sounds against the walls of the foyer, interrupting our banter. The woman is looking expectantly at the two of us, her stare making me shrink back a little on myself. She isn't really intimidating. Well, she is. But not in the scary negative way. Far from it, her demeanor simply commands an air of sophistication and respect. In a different world, a younger me would probably wish to be like her. At our lack of response, she coughs again, lifting a well-trimmed eyebrow at me in question. Words get caught in my throat at the sight of it, and Rose, as usual, is swift
My
to catch.
sincerest apologies, Mrs.
Miss McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch.
Is that your name now? When I first looked at it, I thought it said Miss McCoff. That's your name now. That's your official name. I'm sorry. Oh. The words interior designer catch my eyes before my partner flips it over. Oh, probably someone interested in the mansion for its 17th century influences then. Won't hold her against it, though. Despite her hearsays remaining uninhabited for years, the mansion's original fittings and furniture have been kept completely intact and restored to pristine condition. I suppose some people find that trip to the past feeling appealing. After all, with what it offers, this place also could be a haven for people looking to live with somewhere with a classic historical charm.
Miss McCullough. I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough. In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting. If you could please.
Thanks. There's no need for it, though. I just dropped by for a quick survey of the place. I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
That's not suspicious. Rose's confusion is impossible to miss when she glances at me. I return with an equally perplexed look. Against my better judgment, I blurt the first question that comes to
sorry.
mind.
Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. A flash of irritation crosses her face, but then quickly disappears under a mask of professional detachment.
Yes. Hannah Wright? I was hired by her to handle the interior design for their newly bought home. This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
It is, but
She pauses, possibly trying to find the right words to fix the awkward situation without offending someone. Okay, we'll check.
We're sorry, ma'am.
Oh.
We don't really know what's going on here. If it's okay, maybe we can...
Aren't you the ones in charge here? How can you not know what's going on here?
You see, Miss McCullough, right now, the house is...
Amazing how she can keep her voice level still convey utter displeasure with it. And all the people acting the opposite before, and if it were to choose, it's much easier to handle clients who talk your ear off when they're angry. People like her are the hardest to read. Besides me, I shoot Rose a pleading look. She returns it with a glare for taking the reins from me and attempting to smooth out the situation. There's a promise in it that we'll be talking about this later. I'm not looking forward to that at all. What can I do? She can deal with this better than me. Who knows what might come out of my mouth if I handle this on
We're
man.
really sorry, ma'am. My partner's probably still a bit winded from her fall.
If she's unwell, then she shouldn't be working here right now.
She was in hand to rub the side of her temple as if to stave off the beans.
Never mind that. I just want to know what's going on here. I was led to believe that this house has already been bought by my client and my services are needed for the house's interior design.
Perhaps there's been a confusion then. We haven't heard anything from our supervisors regarding a closed deal for this property yet. In fact, today's only the first day of our open house. If you wish, we can call them and confirm for you.
That wouldn't be necessary, but thank you for being direct with me, Miss Cooper. I already thought something was a little odd earlier. If you'll excuse me, I also have a call to make to my secretary.
The slight wave of her hand, she leaves us. Well. That seems to be the end of it. Both Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. Disaster averted. Still, I've already prepared myself to dial the number to our Luxborn office and check, even if she didn't ask for it. I will be very frustrated if for some reason something has already happened, had been decided without my or Rose's knowledge. That's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Moments later, Miss Cough returns, looking a little frustrated, but with an apology clear in her face. Feel a little sorry of her having to go through all this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here. I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Certainly. You could stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And, Isabella, I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me some
Hurry.
keys.
We've still got a few minutes to double check those papers.
Okay, got it.
Two of them disappear behind the parlor's door. Their departure brings a stillness to keep me company, neither welcoming nor comforting. Alone like this, it's impossible not to think of what really happened. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. Was it just paranoia? A temporary lapse? After hearing all those tales about this place? Probably. I want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such so I can work in peace. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ. If I'm going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. Don't know what's in this house, and I don't want to know. The keys Rose have handed me dig into my palm. Its jagged edges create shallow ridges in my skin from how hard I'm clutching it. It's a reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer close to my body, I exit the house to get what Rose has asked of me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. Okay. Anyway, a flock of people have already gathered around the mansion's front yard by the time we officially open the doors. Not sure whether I feel baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glinted in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their heads. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby, like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day in this. They are murmuring among themselves, looking at the estate's facade, praisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Hearing this, a few wander to me. They're mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. Mrs. Kahlo also joins our group. What really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches.
It's so nice to finally meet you. When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you.
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
They must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before. Some magazine or the television, can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news one way or another. I won't be surprised if those two already had. For people who are popular enough, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others. In their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. Well then. That's rude. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind, though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'd say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. I'd think they're brother and sister if it wasn't for their public display of affection. Their matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are, indeed, a couple. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important right now is that we get this deal closed before the current owners can even think of canceling the listing. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so with papers in hand, I lead the way. When they aren't whispering among themselves or going, ooh, and ah, over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answer them all, more than happy to talk about the art piece and architecture mostly. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Probably wise. Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxburn knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty.
Even the glass thing. Colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope.
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I've stopped talking, your attention is already elsewhere. Attention span of a 3-year-old, huh?
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
Mom, you haven't finalized anything with an agent yet. I would really advise against making plans this early when...
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
The rest of the conversation gets lost on the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, please, please let one of these guys be the one. Eventually our group reaches the kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room in particular looks amazing, like the ones I've only seen in fairy tale books. Now that would be awesome. Yeah. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks, how much a pain in the no comment cleaning this will be, they still managed to pull this off, or make it look presentable at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
This is the first time the guy in gray speaks up. Mr. Luke Wright, my memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden And this catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in this place. This time something lights up in his eyes at the mention of the Undercroft. What's so interesting about a basement? I really couldn't understand rich people sometimes. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who's just seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I always found it cute whenever I see children act that way, my younger siblings especially. On a grown man, it's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar had been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough? Exactly. You guys.
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face. But he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he has started to show interest, if only a little. I smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spawn a buyer with sincere interest. Score! I can't wait to tell Rose! The rest of our tour goes by without a hitch. Oh no, there's gonna be a jump scare. My defenses are at maximum. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room in the ground floor and heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time BRC had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale. When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. It starts off as small goosebumps on my skin, feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing, lurking at the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start to break out in cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for the moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway. If I can
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I let them sit while I treat the corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out my lips, until a hand taps me.
Hello, you there?
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you. Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker. Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hannah. Call me Hannah. I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick plaguing me has suddenly gotten loose by utter bewilderment. That would be kind of an interesting question. Like, you know, you're just kind of like standing there, and then like you're touring group, and then suddenly some guy walks up and is like, "So, how soon can we move in?" You haven't even paid. Like, literally, that is one of the strangest questions ever. Is this a joke? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Ma'am, you see, but we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder for a moment. Tight smile, she looks like she tasted a particularly sour.
Please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem. And, just between you and me,
This place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
It's the cat bin. Fill it up. Ah.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, Ma'am Hana. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already? Exactly. I was expecting some sort of jump scare, but this is hilarious.
Well, I'm more of a dog person. But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon.
Exactly. Now stop.
And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves. What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. Can't stop but help and send an imploring look to Mrs. Mikoff. Only looks away with a sigh.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the paper from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is gonna be so angry at me for letting her.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
It's Isabella, you bastard.
Isabella.
Right. It's a lovely name.
Right. Immediately calls you name you asked not to.
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too. And what's this?
Oh no, they saw the letter. Oh no, they're gonna fire me.
That's, an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though.
That face
Sorry.
though.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with our walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, Mom. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed not enough? I wanted to ask what I did wrong. I didn't want to mess this up. Leading the conversation, I'm afraid exactly what will happen if I...
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
Smile back on her face when she turns to me and hands me a string
I
piece of
would
paper.
still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression, as I was saying.
I don't hear what else she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper and at the letter in my hands. Sides crinkle in my grip and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills
Isabella? Isabella? Are you alright? You're looking pale.
I don't even know when Rose's group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say no, I'm not alright. I want to leave this place. Because I remember everything as clear as day. The letter and the blood-soaked limbs in the attic. It's real.
The letter. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them that without going looking like them? Should I show her the letter? I don't even know what that was. Anyway. You see, if I show her the letter, she might get like, oh, stop. It might go like, that, she's insane. And then if I don't show her the letter, I might break up a relationship. Wait, if I do, either way. I have no idea. So, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe if you... Okay, I have to show the letter.
Rose, we need to get out of here. This place is cursed.
I was casting a nervous glance at the people in the room. This is normal. Still in gate. Tiny break.
Isabella, we've already had a conversation about this weeks ago. Those are just stories.
And I'm
Oh my
telling
god,
you that it's not.
this is so funny.
I
I'm
saw something in
crying.
there. It's not human at all. I thought it was just nothing, but isn't this letter proof enough?
She gently reaches out to plug the paper.
Look, I'm really getting worried about you. I know you want to see this open house through, but your condition is more important.
No, it
Give
isn't.
me a few minutes to wrap things up here, and I'll drive you to the nearest hospital.
Don't. That's a bad idea.
No! You don't understand! There isn't a condition, Rose. No concussion at all. I'm fine. But this place isn't, and you're being stubborn about it.
And he says, "Bro,
Now, ladies, what seems to be the problem here?
Nothing, sir. I just had to clarify a few things with my colleague.
Well, it certainly seems intense. A smile fits the two of you better, in my opinion.
Mr. Wright is weird. I
Especially
don't like
darling
him."
little Lily here.
He gives him his shoulder by the little squeeze with an inscrutable smile spreads across his face.
Isabella, sir.
Of course. But my point still stands. And with two beautiful ladies here, I'm sure.
And I'm sure little Lily here would certainly appreciate it if you remove your pretty hands from her, darling.
Leaves his wife's lips with a scowl on her face, like a splash of cold water. It is also impossible to miss the displeased frown on Miss Colleague's face. Realizing that we might lose the sale because my outburst instantly dawns on me. Rose will be beyond angry.
I think I need to step out for a while. I'll be back.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. Doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not, I've caused trouble and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on her face because and instantly she uses something gentler. Eyes softer, a fond smile.
Hey, I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look.
She hesitates, completely trained off, shivering her gaze down to her hands a smile. Her hands are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hand stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless. More as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can. But I have this nagging feeling that one way or another, it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big.
I think I've
I
made
need you in
Isabel
top
gone
shape.
insane.
And the
Go
way
insane.
you are now,
My mind stopped.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
that's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
Clasps her hand together in front of her, her eyes pleading for understanding, and I do not understand, to some extent. It doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether myself or the unlucky turn of the situation is taken,
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
Still
You're
get the
upset.
BRC thing. I'm not sure why you're mad.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
We both burst into helpless giggles, earning strange looks from the guests milling about at the door. Tony laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that have happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but there is a point. It's better for me to step out for this
I
one.
won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
That's a bad idea.
Please, just
Ghostman's gonna
don't.
jump on you.
I
Eat your brains.
insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, alright? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
Oh wait, sorry, I was supposed to be narrating. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies, gathered in some ways across from me, is occupied a friendly bantler about which would be more cost to buy. A little argument here and occasional laughter and teasing there. I smiled to myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these past few months. It was probably right, I do need a break. Late this afternoon, hang out home. Speaking of, I should call Ash. I told him, but he did ask for a call once I'm done. Besides, I didn't have a ride back. He offered, so I might as well take it. Or bribe him into giving him one. Not that I'll ever accept the latter. Personal convictions and all. Okay, thanks. Honestly, if there's something I find admirable about him, despite his tendency to annoy the hell out of me, it's that. Well, whatever way works, a free ride is still a free ride. There's Rose's offer too, but guess what? She says, I know she'll be busy. That's the afternoon, especially without me assisting. Bothering her for a favor as small as this is the last thing I want to do right now. A couple of minutes and a few prayers asking for a decent signal later. Felt confident.
Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me.
What?
Shit, how loud is this thing
Better
even?
not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool
A sharp
dude,
ringing fills the
pretty
hall,
fly
disrupting
for
the
an Asian
this pleasant
guy.
quiet that soon
Sup,
I've had.
I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me.
When I
Looking for
started
trouble?
around the small crowd
Better
before
not
Zoom
lie.
on a lone
I'm a
figure
cool
crouched
dude,
behind the same group of
pretty
other
fly
people
for
checking
an
out
Asian
Deeper's
guy.
most of it.
Sup,
He is
I'm
facing
Ash
away
from
from me, fumbled with
Deluxe
something in his
City.
hands, but I don't
Baggers,
need to see his
watch out,
face in
can't
his
beat
face.
me.
Or recognize
Looking
that
for
dumb
trouble?
parka
Better not
anywhere.
lie. I'm a cool
Brought him
dude,
down in the car, I
pretty
marched
fly for
towards
an
him.
Asian guy. Sup,
After what happened to him,
Ash
I'm
from
not
Deluxe
All
really-
the times to.
Bag-
Ashton Frey!
What happens next is something I'll sure regret.
Ah!
And he jumps letting an undignified yelp, following by his phone slipping out of grunts from one hand and poor attempt to catch it before ultimately falling flat on the floor with a astounding crack. Kind of feel sorry for the phone and the floor. It's not every day that you can catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. Dang his stupid detective senses. Take every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Ha. An awkward pause passes between us. A blink. A cough. He makes a face. And then, in a too quick motion, he ducks, retrieves his abused gadget with a grin, threatens to break out from my lips. He doesn't meet my eyes when he straightens, but a flush has crept into his neck as cheese. Another universe where we have known each other for 5 years and suffering through his teasing isn't a day A occurrence. Chances are, I'd find that adorable. Enduring, even. Fortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his obnoxiously calm and collected
Hello to
disposition.
you too, scaredy cat. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
What? And miss that look on your face? No way. Oh man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny. Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
For a moment, he looks like a cat swallowed the canary. Suddenly checking every nook and cranny in his phone for any damaged scratches. Seems to be more interested in activity than explaining himself.
Ash,
I could be looking to buy a house.
a mansion.
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
He's messing with me.
Ashton, I am not in the mood. What are you doing here?
He changes his glimpse at some point behind me. The parlor. Curious, I follow his gaze before I can figure out what's caused his. Places a hand on my shoulder and
I
touches
just
me.
finished right by.
I still don't see how his work has anything to do with it. This is why I see her. The confused look, he drops the hand and resting on my arm like he has touched something particularly hot. Casually
And
looks like his.
I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can. Free time and all. So here I am. Figured you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was
about to throw you out.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client.
We have mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it. And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
No, wait. I wasn't really going to throw you out. Rose said... Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
Wait, what? Now?
He must have shown my face because he pauses and gives me a long, hard stare. Sometimes I forget how easy reading people is for Ash, given how he often looks as though everything around him is a chore. I avoid his eyes, hoping he'll drop the subject and won't ask me any more questions. The last thing I want to know is tell him what happened, especially the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on earth I ever think about telling it to if I can help it. Sure, he's a dependable guy. God knows how many times he's helped me, even without me asking for it. But stuff like ghosts and the supernatural, he'll never even believe those, even if he hears it from a friend, except maybe if it's Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is give you an explanation why those things have no chance in ever being real. At worst, he's insufferable. He'll poke fun at you with every single chance he'll get. Asshole. What did I ever do to him? He never does that to Becca or Zach. I can already imagine how things will go down from the moment I spill a word about what I saw. Nope, over my dead body. Before it even catches his attention, I shove the letter deep into my bag.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's...
It's still early.
Oh.
And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
Runs. Persevered. Okay. Oh, it's saved. That's a good spot. Anyway, guys, everybody, I have to go. So, please please. I have no friends. This is my life. Please like this and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll just be here by myself. Anyway, bye, I guess. Please do it, man. Do it for the... I don't know. I'll give you a popsicle if you subscribe. Yeah, that's it. I'll give you a popsicle. Bye.